All right, it's 5:05. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Would you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, this is our final budget hearing meeting. We've all had a chance to look at the agenda. It's pretty basic. I'll restate the agenda items after we adopt. Any changes or comments as noted? Seeing none, do I have a motion to adopt the budget hearing agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We'll have highlights of the proposed budget and millage rate. Will be from the chief. We'll go over the adoption of the final millage rate with a resolution, adoption of a final budget, again with a resolution. The chief will make remarks, we'll make remarks, and then we will adjourn, after which we will convene our regularly scheduled meeting. So with that, chief, highlights on the proposed budget and millage.
Yes, sir. Good evening, first off. So we went through in more detail in the tentative meeting, so I was just going to hit on the overall revenues and expenses this time around. First slide shows that we're currently operating on a 2.8 millage rate. Our proposed budget before you tonight takes us down to 2.76 mils. Our 25-26 tax roll is built on a total value in the district of $5.464 billion, and that will generate $15,081,151. Summary on the revenue side, our total 25-26 revenues is budgeted at $15,828,494. Our fund balance carry forward is $25,600,000. Our construction in progress fund, which is the remaining funds from the state grant, is $4,760,500 for a total revenue and fund balance amount of $46,188,994. And then on the expense side and reserves, our total expenditures are budgeted at $22,167,117. Our total reserve funds, we're looking to finish with $19,261,377. The construction in progress, the utilization of the remaining state funds, $4,760,500 for total on expenditures and reserves of $46,188,994.
Thank you, sir. Any questions on the budget side? And that also covers the mills. Thank you, appreciate it. Brings us to item number 6, adoption of the final millage rate. And before we start with the resolution and discussion, just another check with the chief if we've received any communication at headquarters regarding our budget for the
We
coming
have
year.
no. No, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so we have resolution 2025-06, and Commissioner Farrell has volunteered to help us out with that one.
Absolutely. Resolution number 2025-06, a resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Fort Myers Beach Fire Control District adopting a final millage rate for fiscal year 2025-2026, providing for an effective date. Now therefore, pursuant to Florida Statute 200.065, the Board of Commissioners of the Fort Myers Beach Fire Control District hereby adopts and sets the final operating millage rate of 2.76 mils. That's $2.76 per $1,000 of net taxable assessed value for the fiscal year 2025-2026. The above stated final millage rate of 2.76 mils exceeds the rolled back rate of 2.5436 mils by 8.51%.
Thank you, sir. Do I have a second for the resolution?
Second.
Discussion?
None.
Questions? Comments? No? It'll be a roll call vote. Commissioner Nickel?
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming?
Yes.
Commissioner Lezak?
Yes.
Commissioner Farrell?
Yes.
And I also vote yes. It passes 5-0. Thank you. All right, so our mill is set. We're on to the adoption of the final budget, which is resolution 2025-07. And again, Chief, no comments or communications to headquarters. Thank you. And Commissioner Fleming has volunteered to,
A resolution of the Board of Commissioners of the Fort Myers Beach Fire Control District adopting a final budget for fiscal year 2025-2026, setting a final public hearing date, providing for an effective date. Now therefore pursuant to Florida statute 200.065, the Board of Commissioners of Fort Myers Beach Fire Control District hereby adopts and sets the final budget setting forth the appropriations and revenue estimate for the fiscal year 2025-2026 in the amount of $46,188,994. This resolution shall take immediate effect upon its adoption.
thank you, sir. So we have a motion, do we have a second?
I'll second.
Discussion? Questions? Again, roll call vote. Commissioner Nichol?
Yes.
Commissioner Fleming?
Yes.
Commissioner Lezak?
Yes.
Commissioner Farrell?
Yes.
I also vote yes, it passes 5-0. Thank you again, and thanks to our staff, especially Jane and the chief, for getting this put together and getting us to a good point for the coming year. And with that, we'll move on to the chief's remarks.
Yes, as you had said to Jane and everybody who's helped put the budget together, it was nice that we've had more folks to help us round out the budget with upcoming training and initiatives for the coming year. So to all the folks that put the work into making it happen, I also thank everybody. So appreciate all of you for supporting us as we move forward. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Farrell, any comments?
I'm happy to be here.
Commissioner Lezak?
No, just thank you for all the hard work the team did.
Jim?
Great job, everybody, really.
Yeah, thank you.
And I concur with everybody else. It is our biggest task as a board, and it's the hardest task. And I've explained it before. I never thought it would be so hard to spend somebody else's money. But when you have to look your neighbor in the eyes and explain why the numbers are what they are, it's good to have the numbers, the data, the backing, and another good year of planning for the year coming. So thank you. With that, if there's nothing else, the budget hearing is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, let me switch modes. Anybody need a break before we go into regular meeting? Nope.
Not yet.
Okay.
The plaque was up there.
Was it?
Greg, we ready to continue? Thank you. All right, it's now 5:13. We're going to call our regular meeting to order, and we will observe our flag once again. And please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Do we have a motion to adopt the agenda?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second that.
Discussion? Questions?
None.
None?
None.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. I'll restate the agenda items. We'll have public input on non-agenda items. We have 4 items on the consent agenda. And with that, on the meeting minutes side, for the tentative budget hearing, there's one typo correction. For the header of those minutes, it should be tentative, not final, on that. So we'll note that change and approve that if we so decide. Do we have a motion to approve with that change the consent agenda?
So moved.
I'll second.
Discussion? Questions? Comments? Yes, sir.
Not on the consent agenda, I'm sorry.
Okay. Public input, which I see nobody here. All in favor?
Aye.
And that takes us now to the chief's report.
Sir. So, July 4th holiday was a glowing success for Fort Myers Beach. With the weather being an 11th hour decision, if you remember back, we weren't sure how it was going to go or play out, but the weather broke just in time, and I'm happy to say that people flooded onto the island, and it was a heck of a show put on by the town again this year, so great job on that. What a difference 3 months can make. So since my last report, we've onboarded our new Assistant Chief of Training, Kevin Sears. Kevin's hit the ground running. In fact, this week, Kevin and our ops team have been out doing a live burn on an acquired structure here on the island. So that's invaluable training for our folks, and the feedback that I'm hearing from Chief Sullivan, Chief Sears, Chief Armiger, that guys, everybody's really enjoying the opportunity to be doing some live fire training. So good job to all of them on that. Something new to the district is a drone that was also flying above the acquired structure this week. We were doing a demo with Lee County Emergency Management, and the drone includes on it thermal imaging, which can provide real-time feedback to teams on an emergency scene. The drone is one of Lee County's cache that makes up their Drone as a First Responder program. I hope to be able to bring these cutting-edge advancements in emergency response to the district in the near future. The fire station's nearly topped off, starting to look like a complete structure. If you came by today, you saw that the roof trusses are going on, the last of them. All the retaining walls are in place, which means the driveways and the parking areas are being filled in and prepared for concrete paving. Over the next couple of months, doors and windows will be installed, and that'll really allow for all the mechanicals and the interior walls to be put up inside. So that's moving along great. The renewal of our strategic plan is underway. I understand Dr. Banyan has begun speaking with each of you, and she's also been in the process of conducting interviews with our operations folks this week as well. We're looking forward to having your feedback and their feedback all incorporated into that strategic plan for the next 4 years. So we're looking forward to that. Under administration, administration has been busy with the hiring processes. We need 14 firefighters to reach full staffing when we open the new station. The first phase produced 8 valid candidates who are currently going through the background process. Posting for firefighters is running perpetually until we get the candidates that we need to reach full staffing. At the same time, several candidates have applied for the logistics coordinator position. The testing and interview process is ongoing for that position at this time, and I'm definitely looking forward to having help in that area so we can get some of those lingering facility projects, going, such as landscape at headquarters and stuff like that. In the operations section, Assistant Chief Sullivan's report, through the 92 working days from June to August period he wrote his report for, FMB responded to 553 calls for service with an average response time of about 5 minutes, 59 seconds. Station 32 was the primary or sole responder to 66% of those runs, and Station 33, the other 34%. During the month of June through August, we had 1 structure fire in district located in Bayside Estates on Eglantine. We've had a number of other fires that Station 32 has responded to with the Iona McGregor Fire Department in their district. Average turnout times are 1 minute and 23 seconds. The fastest average turnout time was 50 seconds by Support 32 on B shift. Great job to those guys. The operations division has been working with the company officers and crews to improve communication throughout the department. The morning meetings have been rescheduled to 8:15 from 9:15, and that's allowing us to get started earlier and focus on ensuring good pass-through is happening between the shifts, so none of the information is being lost. Several members of the department have been involved with Melissa from HR and Chief Sullivan in operations in building a new behavioral health program. The purpose of this program is to educate the members of FNB on the benefits the department offers and to recognize mental health issues within each other. Driver engineer Galuski has been assisting Assistant Chief Sullivan in finding locations for all of the equipment on the new Engine 31. That one is almost complete, and we're working on that this afternoon. Additionally, they've laid out each piece of equipment that will be placed in each compartment to enhance responses and safety. So they're giving it a holistic look from top to bottom. And that comes ahead of them working on, the new fire engine as well. Chief Sullivan's taken that on. 5 members of FMB met with Chief Sullivan to begin building the next fire truck for the district. Probationary firefighters Rillo and Crisco successfully passed their EMT credentialing with Dr. Pereira. They did a great job and can now function independently as a firefighter EMT on the ambulances. So they can be the lead provider on basic life support calls. In preparation for the opening of Station 31, FMB is preparing to hire the firefighters. We've talked about that already. To complement this new process, a new probationary firefighter task book has been created. The task book has 21 fire-related job performance requirements and 17 EMS-related job performance requirements. Basically takes the scope of their job and breaks it down into little pieces so they can focus on developing each one separately. The task book also contains a reference manual with information to help new firefighters learn all aspects of their job. And then the company officer can also have an understanding of where the firefighter is to make sure to help keep them on track. Under service delivery highlights on the ops branch, we talked about turnout times for the month of June through August at 1 minute and 25 seconds. And our average response times for all units is at 5 minutes and 59 seconds. The fastest response time, believe it or not, was Truck 33 on C shift, with an average response time of 4 minutes and 49 seconds. Finally, the total call volume for the months of June through August was 553 calls, 198 in June, 168 in July, and 187 in August. And then the next pages, I'm not going to read all of those, but it's a breakdown of what call type, how many of each call type we went to. So under committee and stakeholder participation, Chief Sullivan has attended subcommittee meetings for the Lee County Fire Chiefs Association. He's attended the countywide operations meetings, training meetings, health and safety meetings, and the EMS Medical Care Council protocol meetings, which is where the medical directors come together and they come up with a unified countywide medical protocol. 5 members of the department have attended. I volunteered to attend the 2025 Health and Safety Conference in October. This conference focuses on safety and health challenges in the fire service today. Some of those topics include cancer in the fire service, roadway safety, mental health, and training. Life safety and prevention under Fire Marshal Campbell. External plan review for June through August. You can see the numbers in the chart below. And I do want to highlight that South Trail is developing their own staff for plan review, and they'll be taking over their own plan review starting in November 1st. So if you don't know, we've been providing plan review services for 4 other fire districts: South Trail, San Carlos, Captiva, and Lehigh Acres. So South Trail is excited to be taking that back over, and we're glad they're growing. Under permits, you'll see the chart gives examples, comparisons between this time last year and where we are this year. You'll see that the permits are down for this year versus last year, month over month. And then the inspections are up. So people put in their plans last year and now they're doing the building, as you would expect. So kind of indicates, I think, we're seeing a leveling off in the construction right now. The next page talks about the revenues for the 3-month period. You can see the totals across the bottom, and it outlines our Fort Myers Beach activities and then the activities of the other fire departments. Under short-term rentals from June to August, we did 240 short-term rental inspections. That's 89 in June, 93 in July, and then 58 in August. And then some highlighted projects that Fire Marshal Campbell put in here was the cottage, Crescent Beach Park reconstruction, the fishing pier, Myerside Resort, and 1901 Estero Boulevard, which is a renovation of a commercial building and construction of a single-story addition. Those are some of the projects that are in the plan review process right now. And then finally, for district anniversaries, firefighter EMT Eric Cook has 24 years of service. I have 8 years of service this month. Angela Vallarta has 5 years. Firefighter paramedic Romeo Carano with 3 years, and firefighter paramedic Miguel Rodriguez with 3 years. That's my report.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, on to our next item, number 9, on unfinished business, we have the update to board policies. We've kind of gone over this a few times. This is a self-imposed requirement that we put on ourselves to review the policy manual every year. We did make some changes. Chief, did we know if legal had a chance to review the policy manual? Attorney Sullivan?
I did not send it to
Okay.
Attorney Sullivan.
He can correct anything we can approve later. Any questions or comments about the manual as seen? No? Do we have a
No.
motion to adopt the board policy manual P2000-P2005 as presented and authorize the chief to implement those updated policies? I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Discussion? Public comment? Questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. All right. That brings us on to new business, acceptance of the FDLE drone grant. Back to you, Chief.
Thank you. So, been looking at how drones can serve us in emergency services for a while. And I started out looking at the possibility of a tethered drone. They make docks that can be mounted on vehicles. And, the vehicle arrives on the scene, the park and brake set, can the drone, remotely be operated to go up and be tethered and can fly above the scene. In the process, realized that the technology is kind of advanced beyond that already. And so there is now the ability to have drones docked strategically around, our district, if you will, but found out that the county's already doing this, both from the law enforcement side and from the public safety side, the Lee County Public Safety. The drone DFR is drone as a first responder, and with the drone strategically placed, the ability to operate them remotely, you can have drones on scene very quickly because of their line of sight travel. And some of the advancements that have come forth nationwide are the ability to get waivers, public safety agencies, to be able to fly beyond visual line of sight. Typically, a drone operator has to be within sight of the drone. So autonomous drones have become more commonplace. They've born out of law enforcement, but they're spreading throughout, industry and other areas of government as well. So in doing this, we met with Lee County Public Safety and we saw their program, we saw the drones. These devices can fly day, night, in the rain, in winds up to 20, 25 miles an hour. They come equipped with thermal imaging, so when they show up on scene, you can get heat signatures on a building. Yesterday, we did a demo. I had hoped to have that video link for you, but I don't have it yet. But basically, I picked up the drone from the Emergency Operations Center, and we powered it up at headquarters, and the training is over on Pearl Street, just under a mile away. And the operator was at the Emergency Operations Center doing it remotely. So, and the purpose of that was, can you fly it from there? Can it go to the scene? Can it give us an image of the scene, show us what we're looking at? So what I'm bringing to you tonight, and I'll just show a quick video. So this program, ultimately what it ends up as, imagine if you will, the top of Station 31, there is a dock. A call comes in, and log onto the computer. The calls, it's tied to the 911 center, so the calls show up on the screen. You say, I want to go to this incident, and then you say, fly to incident. And the drone lifts and goes there, and it waits for more commands once it gets there. So with that, we started moving forward and we looked at different vendors, and what we found is that all the infrastructure that has to be put into place for this makes it very viable to be able to partner with the county, which they are willing to do. So we have taken the same spec that the county is using, and we went out for a grant. There's a grant out there that came up 3 years ago that's being managed by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement. The state put $25 million into an account to help government agencies who were flying drones that weren't on the safe list replace those drones. So for the first 2 years, that was the requirement. If you were an agency that had a drone program, you could replace those with the American-made safe list drones. So this year, we found out as we were doing the drone class, myself and Chief Armiger, that it's opened up to agencies that don't yet have drones. So what you have before you tonight is a grant from FDLE that they've already approved, pending your approval, for up to $25,000 per grant or per drone. So that will allow us to buy 2 drones with $50,000 coming from FDLE and about $4,000 coming out of the district funds. So if you will, I'll just show you, this is the new Emergency Operations Center. And up here in the top left is the drone dock that they have installed. It's the same one that we would be using. And the drone has been up and flying, and from the computer, the operator said, okay, go ahead and go home. So this is all automated in the way the drone operates. Not sure how much you can see of that, but when it gets closer to the dock, you'll see blue circles show up, and there's a QR code on the base of the dock. And the drone finds it and is orienting itself to land. So it'll land here in a minute, and then the camera view will switch, and you'll see that the lid on the dock automatically closes. The charger plugs into the drone, and it stays cool in there. It's got an air conditioning element. So there the drone is, it's landing. And in the foreground, what you'll see is every time a flight happens, you put in there exactly what the purpose of the flight was, emergency response or training or whatnot. So the lid's closing on the dock. The drone is plugged in now and charging and getting ready for the next flight.
Come on.
So, up till now, a lot of these drones have been kept in command vehicles or responders' vehicles, so you had to get somebody on scene first. In this world, you have the potential to get on scene, and then the other thing is with this system, there is a live stream available. So we would email out or send out to the responders, and they actually can see the video in real time as they're on the way to the call. If they're already done getting dressed or whatever, they could be able to see in the truck what it is they're going to. Or if the drone gets there first and we're one of the operators, we could be on the radio saying, we're on scene, we've got heat on the Bravo Charlie corner, the people outside are saying everybody's out, hydrants 4 doors down. So that type of information could be available to the responders before even the first truck gets there. You say, well, how does that happen? So these drones have attachments that are available. And our spec that we have put together includes a spotlight and a speaker. And so imagine if this is your house and you've got everybody out and you're standing out front, and now a drone comes overhead, spotlight comes on, somebody says, hey, this is the fire department, trucks are on the way, and communicate with the people on the ground. So is anybody, can you hear me? Raise your hand. Somebody raises their hand. Is the occupant of the home here? Raise your hand. Somebody raises their hand. Okay. Raise your hand if everybody is out of the building. Maybe raise their hand. Or you say, raise your hand if somebody's still stuck in the building. And they raise their hand or they don't. So we can, right now it's one-way communication. I anticipate it'll be two-way communication. Some of the other vendors are doing it. So, but that's the ways it would work. Lost kayaker on the back bay. This launches from station 31, and you're out there with thermal imaging, you're gonna pick them up pretty quick. And if you get to them and you're hovering over them, GPS data goes right out to the fire boats and says this is where you're going to, especially if you're out in the Gulf. So, it's quite an advanced system. It's quite the price tag on it for a flying drone, but FDLE coming through has lowered the barrier for us to get into this and bring these services to the island. County-wide, they're looking to expand the program to have these docks strategically placed in different areas around the county. So this would be able to be flown by us, it would be able to be flown by the county. It would be available for infrastructure. When the shrimp boat hits the underside of the bridge and somebody thinks they saw concrete come down, we'd launch the drone and we'd go take a look in real time. We'd find out whether there actually was damage to the bridge or not. So it's just stuff like that that it really can provide some services to us.
Questions?
How does this thing do in inclement weather?
It's rated for medium rains, so it is waterproof, and it
Okay.
can fly in medium rains. And they say it's rated for up to 30 mile an hour. They did fly one of these in 30 mile an hour winds after Milton, I think, on inland, but they were still experiencing about 30 mile an hour winds, and it did good. When I say maybe 20 mile an hour, it's because once you put the attachments on, I think it's going to change the behavior of it a little bit. So, and once the dock comes, it comes with a parachute also. So the drone would have a parachute on it. So, and then there are waivers involved for being able to fly over people and beyond line of sight and stuff like that. So,
Can you insure these?
yes, you can insure them. So part of the drone, the cost of the drone is a 3-year service, and that gives you some protection if you have a flyaway or if you have a wreck or whatever. So you get a certain number of replacements. But yes, Jane has been looking into insurance. We've been looking at what that component would include as well.
Yeah.
So
Once it's fully charged, how long can it go? So it's going to have a range, because it knows how long it's going to take to get out there, take a look, and then get back.
correct. So again, going to the technology, it's got 2 sensors on it for flying at night, infrared. And then with the accessories we're putting on it, without the accessories, about 40 minutes flight time, which again is also, that was one of the limiting factors on drones for a while, is about 20, 25 minutes on the battery. This is technology in it, so when it lifts, it knows all the weather conditions, and it keeps reserve battery. So if it's flying with the wind to a location, and the wind is 10 mile an hour, it knows it's going to have a headwind coming back. And so it can calculate the battery life needed to get home. And in the absence of the controller, the operator saying, okay, I recognize go home, the drone will take itself home before running out of battery.
If it does run out and has to do an emergency landing,
Yes.
how do we cope with that?
Well, we would land it, we would know where it was landing, because everything's mapped out.
We'd have the GPS.
So we would have to chase it down. Or if you have a catastrophic fail, then the parachute keeps it from coming, keeps it coming down at a slow pace.
Right.
It'll probably still be damaged, but,
Yeah,
won't
not
run
destroyed.
I think this is a tremendous opportunity. I was there yesterday when the drones, they were burning the house down. And, it's very impressive. And we're getting 2 drones for free. How can we not vote for this? One question, we'll have 2,
We will have 2 drones, yes.
so one will be at headquarters and one at
Yeah, so one will be in, the next item on the agenda is the
Right.
dock component,
Mhm.
which I'm going to pull because I'm still working with the company. But once the dock is at Station 31, then 1 drone will live there. We will try the system for a while before I advocate for the second dock, make sure everything's as I'm telling you. And then the second dock would probably go at either Station 32 or 33. And that's the other thing. So we had about a mile flight yesterday, line of sight, and as soon as they took off, the operator said, "Okay, I got a minute 35 flight time," and in a minute and a half, it was at the training house, from headquarters to Pearl Street.
By the time our guys are in their gear,
That's about
Get behind the
we
wheel.
just talked about
That's
a
on
minute 30
scene,
time
yeah.
to get out the door.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
it's impressive.
Yeah.
Chief, how big is this drone physically?
The drones, it's like your larger retail ones. It is beyond the 0.55 pounds, so the tiny little drones, when they're 0.55 pounds, you don't have to have the Part 107 FAA license to fly them. This is bigger than that, and besides that, we're doing the waiver to be able to fly beyond visual line of sight, and fly over, people and vehicles and stuff. So those waivers require us to have operators. So right now, Chief Armiger and I are the first ones going through the class. A class popped up at Bonita, so we went over there and we were in it with folks from Bonita and Captiva and a couple of other departments. People get trained up. That's where we heard about the FDLE grant. So with that, I forgot your question, I'm sorry.
Physical size was the
Physical size,
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
so
about
if you,
this big, I think.
yeah, if I lay out my laptop, it's probably about that big.
Okay, but
Yeah.
too good for us.
Yeah.
It's not bigger than that?
No, it's
It
not
could be
that.
bigger.
No.
How much does it weigh?
With the accessories, probably a couple pounds with the battery in it.
So they could be much bigger.
2.5 pounds.
Like a small plane.
Like for a special event, can it be autonomously programmed to, say, circle the sand sculpting or fly up and down the beach on a pattern?
It could, yes. So that's one of the things we would do though, because, so yesterday, the county has their set, they take about a 200-foot flight level. So they just send it up, it's pre-programmed to go up 200 feet and then go to the pin on the map. One of the things that was talked about a lot when we were doing the drone training was to have, even if you have that waiver to work over crowds and stuff like that, sort of be out away from them, so you can kind of, look down at an angle if you want to. So even though you can't go over people, try and be aware of, where you're flying. So.
Great. Any other questions?
What kind of replacement costs on some of the materials, battery? I mean, on an annual basis, yeah, the grant is there, but
Right.
what are we looking at incurring in terms of costs?
Again, part of the reason that they're the price they are is because they have 3 years of coverage in them.
Okay.
And then, so there is an ongoing, especially because when we turn these on, they're on the network and they're attached to cloud servers. So the company Skydio sees the condition of the batteries, they see the condition of the drones, and battery replacements are included during the life of the drone. So it comes with 4 batteries. Well, it comes with 2 batteries each, so there'll be 4 batteries for the 2 drones.
What is the typical life of a drone?
I'm thinking it's going to be about 3 to 5 years. 3 to 5 years, depending on how much it gets flown and.
Yeah, I would suspect it would be, you want to do it in 5 years.
We'll have jetpacks by then.
There'll be
Well, the
jet- there'll be
technology's
jet-
going to
Yeah.
keep improving,
Just coming
so,
rapid.
Yeah.
Great. Any other questions? Would somebody like?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the acceptance of the state of Florida FDLE drone grant in the amount of $50,000 and to execute the purchase of 2 Skydio drones for a total cost to the district of $3,842.94.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Discussion?
None.
Questions? Public input? All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thanks, everybody. So excited.
This isn't, it is incredible, isn't it?
I know.
It's always good
I
to
want to see the demo.
Chief just mentioned we're going to push item 10B to a further meeting because he's still negotiating with the company on the docks. So that brings us to item 10C for Commissioner Emeritus status, which Chief and I have been talking about for a while, and other associations and boards do this. You kind of see the blue page there on the history of Commissioner Wood. We've all known him for years and had a chance to work with him, so his continued interest in the district and advocating for the district, he's one of those guys that will call me after a meeting, especially if we've had a little audience participation in something, and give me a pat on the back, or hey, next time think about. And he's well deserving, I think, of the status, in my opinion, for that and so many other reasons. He was instrumental, of course, in getting this board where it is today. Carried us through Hurricane Ian until I took over that November. And yeah, I can't think of a better candidate. And with that, I'll leave it up to the group for discussion to see if what your thoughts are.
I believe that Larry's well deserving of this. I mean, he was our leader, getting us through the storms. I mean, he was always calm and nice. And he got things done. He's one of the icons of the island in our recent history. I'm not sure how long he was at the school, but for a while, I guess. No, I'm all in favor of this.
Jim?
Me too. I was excited to see this on the agenda, and he's been a true professional. I think he was a great leader during some very challenging times, and I'm glad that we're going to be able to do this.
I think also, you know, he did a lot of the early legwork, the initial legwork toward making this station happen, and Ian kind of sped that up some, but he, you know, notwithstanding that, he was right in the trenches there in the beginning, helping fiscally plan for the replacement of this. And I remember those conversations, and you know, the things we were doing to make sure that we were funding that reserve area for the replacement of that station. So I think it's incredibly fitting, and you couldn't give it to a greater guy.
Right, I agree. Karen, anything?
I'm a big fan of Larry. I am. I'm going to spend the next 3 years trying to fill his shoes, and it's an uphill climb. But I like him a lot. He came to me to tell me that he wasn't going to be running again, suggested that I run, and I found that to be very, very kind. And so yeah, and I'm all in favor of this.
And again, this is, it's an honorary title. The emeritus is, or emeritus, depending on your school. It's one of those things, but it's again, I think as our initial recipient, I could not think of an individual more fitting than Mr. Wood, and how much I care for him and what he's done for the district and continues to.
Yes.
So with that, I will make the motion to approve a lifetime status of Commissioner Emeritus to retired Commissioner Larry Wood, and to add such to the dedication plaque for the Fire Station 31.
I'll second that.
Discussion? Chief, anything? Yeah.
So the timing of this isn't happenstance. So I reached out to Commissioner Bennett because the dedication plaque is on my desk for the new station. So I just wanted to kind of give a look of what it would look like, and I thought it fitting with the amount of work that went into it. You know, obviously he chose to end his tenure, but I think it's important to recognize him. So I appreciate you guys considering it, and I think it'll look good on the front of the building.
And it's not only this, he's contributed to the community as a whole through his service as the principal of the beach school for years and years, and other organizations on the island. So this is just
I look at, I mean,
recognition.
he's the main reason I sit here.
Yeah.
And I think that's true for
It's
most
one of the
us.
reasons I'm here too. Yeah.
He was always encouraging, always spoke highly of the district. And I
Great
remember-
ambassador every day.
Yeah, we should have an ambassador status on this as well.
He would be the chief ambassador.
Chief ambassador, sure.
All right, any other
Not-
comments?
Not too late to change the titles.
Yeah.
If you have better ideas, let me know.
We have a motion, we have a second. Any further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much. Congratulations, Commissioner Wood.
Commissioner, yeah.
Welcome back to your title.
I was going to ask you, do you want your full
All right, that brings us on to the reschedule of our October meeting. Chief and I quickly discussed this. We wanted to run it past the rest of the board to consider the October 22nd board meeting, moving that from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So we can do some ceremonial recognition and swearing-ins and a few other things. Chief, anything you'd like to add for?
No, it's, we typically do those type of ceremonial events when the families can be here at 5 o'clock has always proven to be an easier time for everybody to get their families together.
Everybody's
So the 22nd.
No, that's great.
Good?
We're good.
Yep,
5
we're
o'clock.
good.
No conflicts?
10 a.m.
Yeah, I
No
don't
conflicts.
know.
All right, so I'll make a motion to reschedule the October 22nd, 2025 meeting time from 10 a.m., move that to 5 p.m. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Further discussion, questions, public input? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. All right. Fire chief remarks. Chief Ward.
Yes, so I'd just like to start by thanking all of you for your leadership and guidance as we put another budget in play. Everybody for their work. We've had a lot happening in the last few months, and you know, our new folks with Melissa and Kevin Sullivan and Sears, and doing good job and heavy lifting and helping bring the department together. We know we went through some hard times the last few months, and you know, I think people are moving past it, and you know, in a mature, professional way. So appreciate everybody for the work that's happening. I'd like to take a minute. There's been a couple of Lee County EMS. They had somebody who lost their life recently to a medical condition. So with them, you know, we're thinking of them in their time of sorrow, and also I won't call it a near miss because it was an accident, but a battalion chief at Bonita Springs recently was out on the highway working, and somebody didn't see the traffic stop, and as they swerved, they hit him. So we've been in communication with Bonita. We're thinking about him and his family, but he's on the path to recovery, and it sounds like he's doing well. So, you know, for those of us who've been out on the highway working, you guys have the law enforcement, Commissioner Fleming with the fire, that potential's there every time. So it reminds us that, you know, the job can be dangerous at times, and recognize all of our folks for putting themselves out there to serve the community. So,
Great.
thank you.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner remarks. Who would like to start?
I'll go first.
Okay.
The structure that we're setting fire to all the time, it's numbered off of Pearl, but it's really on Delma. So, you know, it's like, I look out my door, there they are. I watched a couple of them. The guys are enthusiastic. I mean, they have all their new gear and they're smoking it up, so it smells like they're firefighters. But I can tell they're, you know, they're happy doing it. And it's so hot. I mean, I just don't know how they're doing it. You know, at 8 o'clock, or I think at 9 today, it was about 82 already, and they're wearing all that gear, and the training people have to have it on. But they like it. I will say though, if you ever need an arsonist, don't hire a firefighter, because they were throwing wet hay on a fire, and because when they bought the hay, they bought the wrong. But no, it's good to see. You know, you don't want to see a house catch fire, but they wouldn't mind. As you all have, if you haven't soon, speaking with Dr. Banyan, and you know, it was a good conversation. She had some questions I hadn't thought of. One of the things that we had come up with, and I'll speak to this when she's here, but to get our survey out, and she needs it to come from us, the people you know, and you know, like Kieran, you know who the locals are at Fresh Catch, and Jackie, you know everybody. And you know, and you know your condo people. And then those people can send it out.
Good point. Jim?
Thank you. I just want to say I'm very excited about this opportunity to use technology, the drone, and it's intriguing to watch it. You know, I happened to catch a little something on Facebook about it, and I'm like, wow, that is so cool. It is an amazing opportunity for our district to have access to that. Glad that we have the budget process behind us. We have a good budget, I think, for 2026. And I appreciate Jane so much for the work that you've done in that. And you too as well, Chief. I know you did something. Jane did.
I got out of Jane's way.
So that said, I would say thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Commissioner Lezak.
So I think it's kind of cool that you found out about the grant because you took the opportunity to go for a training in another area. And it just goes to show how important these trainings are for all levels of our department, because you have these conversations with people around you while you're in them and you learn things. And because of that, you brought home $50,000 to the department. And you can't put a price on that. That's amazing, because what that drone's going to be able to do when we have a, paddle boarder that's off the coast somewhere missing and we can't see them, or, missing kids or whatever it might be, that it's going to be priceless. So great job, and I just want to reiterate that folks take advantage of the training that's out there, because it makes a difference. Great job, and thank you to the homeowner or property owner that allowed us to use their structure.
Yes.
If other people are out there, I'm sure that you still want additional opportunities to do that if we can make that happen. So, but it doesn't happen unless someone says yes. So it's really important. And obviously budget, Jane, thank you. You're a miracle worker. I don't even know how you do that. And I would be remiss if I didn't also mention we lost one of our island icons, because we were speaking of icons, Betty Simpson. And we had her celebration of life over the weekend at St. Raphael. And obviously one of the ladies who has given decades to this island in so many organizations. So many. So just think of her family and her friends in your prayers and in your thoughts. That's about it.
Thank you. Commissioner Farrell.
Just a couple things. One, thank you to Chief Worth and to Jane for a great meeting, organized as always. I echo Commissioner Lezak's. I have no idea how you can put all that together, but God bless you. Good luck. Congratulations to firefighters Rillo and Prisco for EMTs. That's very cool. Mr. Prisco is a neighbor of mine, and always asking him for updates when I see him, so that's a good thing, and his golf game. The other thing I've noticed throughout the course of this meeting was that there seems to be a common theme, and I noticed it struck me as initiative. The drone program. You've got the Prisco and Rillo getting their EMT certification. You've got HR for the mental health aspect of things, which is absolutely crucial, because we all know none of us knows what somebody else is walking around with, and I can't speak highly enough to that. I'm so happy that that's being taken on. And initiative with the drone program, I mean, we got that going on. And the burns, I'm impressed by that. And I just want to say that if you need additional material to burn, I'm pretty sure Commissioner Fleming I'll take his Eagles hat. I'll be happy to throw that in there. And with that, I'll finish up by saying I'm really happy to be here.
Thank you, sir. Not much more to say after all that. Again, a huge thank you to all the staff, and especially Jane and the Chief, for preparing our budget and millage rate. Really happy that we were able to lower that, even if it's just a little bit this year. Every penny makes a difference to our residents and property owners. We're coming up, this week is our 3-year anniversary on a really big event that changed all of our lives. And I'm happy to say that for the most part, I think we're all in a good place right now, and if we can keep these name things away from us for another year, then we'll be a little further ahead in year 4. And with that, unless somebody has anything additional, this meeting.
I would say,
yes, sir.
Congratulations on your 8th year anniversary.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anything else?